Hey, this is Jay Lee. I hope all is well. I just wanted to show you a few things that we were able to capture at our UFO sighting events in January and February 2022. To all of you who've never seen a UFO, you got to come to one of these events here in Los Angeles. We always have some great ufologists over there. Robert Bingham showed up. Shelley, John, oh my gosh, the UFO magnets were in force. We always have a great time together, and we always see UFOs, so you gotta come. The events are free, so bring the family. Here's a few things that we ended up seeing from Sequoia Park on February 27th, 2022. This one was crossing the sky, and I tried to get it with my handheld, and somehow I got a couple of frames of it. I got lucky with this one because it was moving so fast. But as you can see, it's not normal. The structure is weird and it looks like it's been melded, like it's been melted together. It was definitely moving abnormally fast. I usually don't like to talk about stuff that I miss, but this one was huge over at Sequoia Park, and there must have been 20 of us. But we saw a flotilla, a bunch of white orbs in congregation. These aren't the actual pictures, but it looked like this. My handheld camera failed. I forgot to put the recording mode on my cell phone. It was interesting because nobody in our group was able to catch these objects. So here's the discovery. There is no doubt that eyewitnesses are really good, but they're not as good as a photograph and video. I was fortunate to catch this flyby. Number one, you're looking at an object that shouldn't be seen by the human eye. And somehow, we were able to capture an object flying by this thing. Seriously, what are the chances? Again, we call for these things to come to our location, and they show up. Robert Bingham was also there, so they might have all came because of him. There must have been about 40 objects we saw this day. I thought it was very exciting. So let's break this one down a little bit. When we put the telescope on it, it looked like a cluster of round mylar balloons. But like I always say, no matter what you see, videotape it, a flyby may end up coming by it. And that's exactly what happened in this case. I calculate this object to be moving about 32 feet per second, or about 22 miles an hour. If it was moving away, it's moving faster. But notice, as it travels, we see more detail, which means it's coming toward us. This thing is so high up there, nobody's supposed to be seeing this object. I find these objects almost calling to us to take a look at it because they're literally a dot in the sky. They look like a star. So please keep in mind that flying saucers can look like UFOs, but not all UFOs look like flying saucers. So is this coincidence? Did we just get lucky? Or are they just answering a call? What are the chances of you setting up a date, time, and place, bringing a telescope, looking up in the sky, seeing a dot in the sky, videotaping it as an object flies by it? Was that an accident? I truly believe that they masquerade themselves as objects that are common. They've either evolved to a point or are camouflaged in order to mimic common objects. They may be in front of our eyes, but we don't recognize them. And this is a perfect example. So this type of structure I call a sinker-swimmer. With these, you usually see a swimmer, which is keeping everything afloat, at the very top, and a sinker at the very bottom, kind of being dragged along. The part you really want to concentrate on is the sinker. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's very typical after we've made a calling to see something as crazy as this. When we see a sinker swimmer, we concentrate on the bottom because not only do things look weird, but it does weird things. And this is no exception. And I'm glad you're going to be able to see this for yourself. But something is going on. You'll have to look close, but it looks like some sort of a blue larvae peeking out of the cocoon. Keep watching, but do you see what I see? Something blue is coming out of this thing. You gotta watch for it because you're not supposed to be seeing this. I would say that this one is probably about 3/4 of a mile away from us. I'm using my ETX 90 Meade telescope in order to capture this with a high definition camera. We are absolutely not supposed to be seeing this. But for some reason, we've been given the opportunity to observe these things close up. And I'm glad to be sharing this with you right now. Another total giveaway that these entities display is bubbling of the surface of the structure. If you see bubbling on the surface, they're in there. Over in February at Hollydale Park, we probably ended up seeing 6 or 7 flybys. These orbs that went from one side of the sky to the other side of the sky. They moved so quickly that you just couldn't catch them on camera. By the time you mustered up enough courage to go, hey, look, it's already on its way out. You can't even see it anymore. So you really have to be quick on your feet. Of course, you want other people to see what you saw, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Anyway, I hope you like the videos. Come join us over at our next UFO sighting event. Go to LA UFO channel on meetup.com, and we'll let you know when the next event happens here in Los Angeles. Just one last critical thinking video, okay? I'll see you guys next time. Here's something that I wanted to show you. When I see something like this, it looks like just a regular balloon cluster. What I want everybody to notice is that there's a tether that connects the main structure to this cake balloon. Notice the thickness of that tether. Notice that you could barely even see it. And why should you see it? It's less than a 1/4 inch thick. And this object is so far up there, how could you see it? And because it's so high up there, you probably shouldn't be able to see it. That is normal. So anything thicker than that has to be investigated. So when you end up seeing big, thick, multiple tethers holding up a balloon, you have to think that that's strange. This is just kind of food for thought. I just kind of wanted to initiate people's critical thinking skills.